I am so thankful that you guys have agreed to do this. First of all, this is Bill and Betty Murphy, and congratulations on 70 years. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. You congratulate me and give her your condolences.
You know, when my wife's grandparents celebrated their 50th anniversary, he took me aside and he said, 50 years, that's a long time with one woman.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
But think I'm going to spend eternity with him.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm just so excited that Chris, your son, contacted me and let me know what was going on with you guys and that you're willing to do this. I'm going to share this on a podcast that I do as part of a segment I call How We Met, which is the story of people's romance, how they met, how they fell in love, how they knew they were the right one for each other. And you guys, after being together for 70 years, that just amazing. Where did you meet?
We met back in Birmingham, Alabama, and we lived close to each other.
Thank
Now, did you meet at college?
Or,
Church.
well, actually at church.
That's a good place to meet. That's a good place to meet. So how did you start going from just meeting to, I guess, dating, your courtship? What was that like for you? That was, when was that?
Oh.
When did you meet? Because you were married in 1950, right?
1950. Yeah.
So did you meet in 1950 or did you meet prior to that year?
No, that's when we got married.
Basically, I was in high school and he had been in the service. Okay. So he was discharged and he came to play pinochle with my brother at home. And I didn't pay any attention to him. And then he will tell you, he entered Auburn University, War Eagle, right after he was discharged. And I eventually attended Birmingham Southern College in Birmingham for 1 year. Then I wanted to transfer to Auburn where my brother was. And that's really where we connected.
Who asked who out?
Oh, my brother had to okay everybody I dated, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, she had to have his approval.
No, yes, my parents.
Yeah.
And he is a fraternity brother of my brothers.
Oh, wow. So did that give him an in or did that make him even more leery of him?
What do you think, Bill?
What was the
Is
question?
that okay? Because you're a fraternity brother of Warren's?
Yeah, yeah.
That helped give you like a couple of extra points then.
Connect us.
Absolutely.
Where did you go? Do you remember where you went on your first date?
Oh, dance.
Oh, we had dances at our every Friday and Saturday night, and so we went. That's where we went. That's where we were every Friday and Saturday night. We were at a dance.
Fraternity and sororities had their dances.
What kind of music did you dance to? Do you remember?
Ooh.
Usually the Auburn Nights. That was a local bunch of. They were college kids, and those that could play, they were members of that band. And of course, it changed as they moved on and off through college. So you'd have new members.
Compare them to Glenn Miller. They could hold their own.
Yeah. So this is the late 40s?
Correct.
Yeah, right.
So are we talking like swing music, big band music, or what style?
Big band music, like the Glenn Miller type.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Harry James, Glenn Miller, that type of big band music.
So when did you realize that this was more than just a casual dating relationship?
Oh.
It was always, obviously it was gradual, but we were we were able to get along very well together, and I don't know what more to say other than the fact that I liked her and wanted to be with her.
That would be true.
What?
One time I had one date though with a gentleman and he didn't know it and they both showed up.
How'd that turn out?
Well, it was interesting. I did go with the date I had, and I was in the dorm at the time, and the girl said, "Your date is here." And I went out, and then she called again. She said, "Your date is here." And I said, "Oh, no." But he was gracious. When we got to the dance, no one ever danced with their date. It was ratio girl to boy. We would say 1 boy to 4 girls, 3 girls, whatever. So we just had a good time dancing with everyone.
Oh man. Do you remember how he proposed or where he proposed?
The pen, you pinned me first
Uh,
with the fraternity.
I don't even remember. You remember?
Well, the main thing, it was a gradual thing. And,
Yeah.
and your procedure is you give a girl your fraternity pin to wear with her sorority pin. That's the introduction to an engagement, maybe. That was the first step. And when you are pinned, the other guys know to lay off, just clear the way.
She's spoken for.
Yeah.
And you might say it was just an understanding.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Together.
So where were you married?
Birmingham, Alabama, Roebuck Plaza Baptist Church. We were the first wedding in that church when it had just been renovated.
Oh, wow.
1950.
That's amazing. That's
Excuse me.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, 1950.
No, 49, because we married 1 year before we graduated. No, but
No,
no, I'm sorry, 1950.
1950. Okay. Yeah, I did the math. 70 is an easy number to figure.
You got it.
It's the platinum anniversary, by the way. I don't know if you do that or not.
Well, I'll have to remind him. I didn't do that. Thank you.
what's that?
So over the course of 70 years, you've seen an awful lot of things change, a lot of things come and go, and some things come back again. What were some of the difficult times? I mean, every couple goes through tough times, whether it's financial or job changes or the family issues. What were some of the times that maybe were a little bit difficult for you, but that you managed to get through somehow, either by relying on your faith and relying on one another?
I think our faith had a strong influence on our relationship. We were members of the same church. We attended the same classes, and so we were. I don't know what else to say than the fact that it was a mutual benefit for both of us.
We were both aware we took a vow before God.
Yeah.
And we understood what that vow meant. Our house burned. We lived through that. We had many incidences where in rearing 4 children, we met some very challenging times. Bill was very steady. He really was a great father, and I tried to be a good mother.
And we were fortunate in having 4 really great children.
Amen.
Well, you think you maybe had something to do with that? The way you raised them?
I don't.
We hope.
I would think so. That'd be a big yes.
You raised them in the faith, so they had a pretty strong foundation, right?
Right.
We had to live it, not talk it.
Yeah.
And one of my children walked in the kitchen and said, "Mother, I heard you use a bad word. your image is tarnished.
Oh, they keep you on your toes even now, don't they?
Yeah.
They should.
Keep it straight.
What are some of your fondest memories over 70 years? I'm sure you have books. Well, you could probably write a book or two, but what are some of the things that you look back on from 1950, even before that, when you met, some of the things that really stick with you and that bring you joy?
I'm very loquacious. He's thinking, but he'll come up with something. The main thing is from the get-go, we have loved water skiing. And when we were water skiing, our entire family and their friends were with us.
Yeah.
So we knew the company our children were keeping.
Yeah.
And that ended up at the age of 80. That was the last time Bill skied.
We were both 80 at the last time we water skied.
Wow.
We took them water skiing, and Bill took the boys hunting. Now that was, we won't go into that, but it'll take too long to tell you the stories about that. But some to tell.
Well, what did you hunt? Did you hunt deer?
I hunted deer.
And Chris.
Huh?
Chris got, first time out, 12-pointer.
If someone would come to you today saying they were considering getting married, or maybe they had just been married, or maybe they're going through a tough time, what advice would you have for them about having a marriage that is going to be as successful as possible? Well, what kind of marriage advice would you give people?
Don't always try to be right. It's a give and take situation. You got to be willing to admit when you're wrong, when you are wrong.
What about you, Betty?
Now, add to that, we were on a cruise, and we were telling the master of ceremonies, who was a little bit loose, that he wanted to know who'd been married the longest. And we were before 200 people, we were the longest to be married, or the longest time, I should say. And he jumped off that stage and got down there in our face, and he said, "Okay, give us the secret." Before we went on the cruise, I prayed I could witness to as many people, I'm gonna cry, that I could. And so he said, "Okay, give us a secret, give us a secret." My friend Judy Pope said, "Betty, tell him the truth." I said, "Third partner." Well, you know what his mind was thinking. And finally he said, "A third partner?" I said, "Yes, the Lord Jesus Christ." And everyone there clapped.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's good.
got
Well, your
my
prayer
wish.
was answered then, huh?
Pardon?
Your prayer was answered about being able to share the good news.
Indeed it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Betty, did you just retire recently?
No, I'm going back.
What
She's
do you
retired.
do?
She retired 3 times.
What do you do?
Well, I've been an educator for 70 years.
Wow.
And primarily, it was either English or math. My last retirement from Columbus Tech College, I was teaching the math, and there's a story there, but I miss it so much. And that is what kept us going, both of us. Purpose to wake up to, and a purpose for that day, whatever the Lord ordained. My purpose. And I appreciate the Lord letting me have that privilege.
That's amazing. And Bill, you served in World War II, did you not?
Yes, I did. I was in the Army, what was then called the Army Air Corps. And, and I was trained as an airplane mechanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And typical Army to this day, I've never worked on an airplane.
Oh, that's too funny. Where were you stationed?
Most of the time I was in Fort Worth, Texas for a while. And then I went to the South Pacific,
Oh man.
to the Marshall Islands. You ever heard of a little place called Eniwetok?
Yeah.
Well, I was stationed there for a while, and I served there.
First atomic,
But
that atomic bomb test there?
yeah, you remember whenever they had the atomic bomb test on Bikini?
Yeah.
I was on that project. Of course, we weren't near the bomb test, except I was probably 180 miles from the actual blast. But I was part of that project. We called it Crossroads Project.
Hmm. Well, we thank you for your service. My dad passed a couple of years ago, but he was in Italy during World War II. Served in the Army as well.
Mm. That
Well,
was
is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you were hoping I would, or is there anything you would like to say that I didn't get around to?
I can't think of anything right offhand.
Betty, is there anything that you were hoping to
Clarification
get
on
to
it.
say?
I was hoping you would ask me because I think the people, the couples being married today do not consider a very important part of their ceremony, the vows they make before God. That will hold them accountable and should, and we want them to be held accountable. And I want you to know there's joy in sticking with it.
Hmm.
It's not temporary, get rid of it if you can, but stick with it, and God will bless you immeasurably.
I so appreciate you taking time to do this. And again, congratulations on 70 years. That's just fabulous. I am so happy for you. And it's been a pleasure to get to spend a little bit of time with you today.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you calling and questioning, giving us an opportunity to witness to you.
Wonderful.
War Eagle.
And I will let Chris know when this is going to be available so he can pull it down for you and play it back for you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, very good.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Again, it has been a pleasure to get to talk with you.
Well, we appreciate your questions and your interest.
Thank you, Jerry.